Dang it. Tweet. Against the Iron Storm, I'm Dread Canary. The game is Against the Storm, and we are playing Iron Man mode. Now, Iron Man mode is very simple. I will play every level of difficulty twice, and then increase the difficulty. I will continue doing this until I lose a game. And if I lose, I do have to replay the tutorial, because losing the tutorial, abandoning the tutorial, skipping the tutorial, doing anything with the tutorial that's not beating it, does count as a loss, and it is very important for the Iron Man experience that when we go to deeds, we see games lost, none. Now, games 1 is 11, which means we're not increasing the difficulty yet. We are still on Prestige 1. And we got some fertile ground here, which is a good way for us to get even more extra food tokens. So we're going to go ahead and drop right here. We're going to call ourselves something exciting, something wonderful. Something like Tax Form 1040A. Yes, I know it would have worked better last time when we had Vassal Tax, and that my last two videos that got uploaded were about tax avoidance and then paying taxes because of the Vassal Tax, but you know what? I don't know what mysteries I'm going to get until we get in there. And let's just blatantly favor beavers. I keep wanting to call them dwarves because I think they are the dwarves of this world, and I love dwarves. Dwarves are my favorite fantasy race. Not elves with their elegance and their holier-than-thou attitudes living up in the trees or in citadels of glass or whatever magic nonsense they have. No, dwarves are hardworking, they mine, and they forge, and they're always sturdy and constant, which is my favorite as far as magical races go. That said, it is also the larger caravan, and I consistently say that you should start with the larger caravan just to get your economy running as soon as possible. Now, we do have 3 embarkation points to work with. There are a lot, and I mean a lot, of dangerous glade events that can be solved with oil, so I'm going to go with oil. And let's go! I've got a real Eye of Sauron thing going on there, so let's check out our mysteries. Untapped wealth. Gatherers have a plus 50% chance of collecting additional resources when harvesting nodes during drizzle. Okay. Cool. Love that. Trees are not nodes, but that is very good for anything that we can use with camps. This would be a really great bonus to get on the marshlands, where you already have such massive camp bonuses. But even, like, anywhere you get this, it's solid. There's nodes everywhere. We've got our usual debuff. Okay. Minus 10 global resolve for opening glades during the storm. Love this. I very rarely open glades during the storm anyway. I got into the habit of not opening glades during the storm once I discovered that this was a very common thing, and so I just kind of adopted this gameplay strategy across the board. Okay. Travel costs increases by 2 during the storm for trade routes. You know, I'm not worried about this. I don't know if this save has even unlocked trade routes yet. It might have. I find it hard to remember because I play on other save files when I'm not streaming. Okay, so 5. We need services or people are going to die. Okay. Don't love that. And Eclipse. We need double services or people take long breaks. You know, I don't really mind long breaks, so not worried about this. Though if I get this, then I'm halfway to fulfilling this anyway. Alright, then of course we got the fertile grounds, which means I should be on the lookout for farms. Trees give more wood because it's the Royal Woodlands, and we need those 4 additional reputation points. Beavers' Firekeeper bonus is that they use fuel for longer, so we don't have to use as much fuel. We have a bunch of really boring glades to our north and west and south. Okay. Yeah, alright. So either I have to just bite a bullet and take boring glades, or we are going in this direction. So let's go ahead and just go in this direction. That works for me. We'll drop down a woodcutter's camp and a woodcutter's camp. Now I do eventually want 3 woodcutter's camps. We will start with this. Let's take a look at what we can get. A lumber mill seems highly important given that I have beavers. So let's go ahead and take that lumber mill to start. Okay, rain mill would be good if I get a farming building. Copper bars, not so much. It's hard to get copper in the Royal Woodlands. And the grill, not so much. It does nothing for beavers. I mean, ale is nice. Copper bars, not so much. The wine could be good for beavers, because it is, like, they're the only ones who drink wine if we get a luxury building. And they also like pickled goods. So the cellar's pretty good for beavers. But I'm going to go with the rain mill here, because I feel like we will want to get something we can turn into flour eventually, given the fertile ground. And that tells me herb garden right away. Now, of course, with the recent camps update, we have small camps which will let us collect the resources in our storing zone, basically no matter what they are. So we're going to go ahead and build these. And we're also going to go ahead and build extras. So we've got this trapper's camp going up. I'm going to put an herbalist camp here, forager's camp here, and a harvester's camp here. And so we've got 2 woodcutters, stone cutters, harvesters, foragers, herbalists, trappers camp. So we've got at least one of everything. That'll let us put up a crude workstation. The beavers in here. And we're going to change these to only marked trees. If I hold shift, it's going to do it for all woodcutters camps in here. Keep in mind that I do only marked trees on this and the marshlands, because I can get those nice square or borders that I like. Whereas in the Crimson Orchard and the what's the other one? The Coral Biome, the trees are so twisty that they don't look like they have squared off edges even when they do. 10% faster for every firekeeper assigned to the hearth. This grows phenomenally well. It makes us do glade events very, very quickly if I can get multiple hearths going, but it will take several years to come online. Get an additional extra trade route slot, and traders arrive faster. That is very good for an overall trade strategy. Silent looting is great. It can be a lot to take down the hostility of the forest, but getting tools is kind of the hardest thing to do on the Royal Woodlands when you're next to fertile ground. Like, I'm gonna have food, but being able to set up tool infrastructure might be a bit rough. Regardless, I'm gonna go with silent looting. I don't think it's overall the best one here, but I think it's got the most upside potential. Also, let's take a look at our orders. 2 dangerous glades is something I'm always going to want to do. 25 coal on this map where you're not going to be able to mine it is great. Getting an extra wildfire essence lets me build more hearths. That's nice. The +1 copper doesn't do much for me. On the other side, though, we have something that I'm definitely going to want to do is build a trading post. 10 amber is not that hard to get. 5 parts is pretty solid, as is 6 tools. I'm not excited about 20 biscuits. Biscuits are something that I either want to be able to make or not care about. But in this case, I think I'm definitely going to do the TikTok, so let's go with the TikTok. Now, flat +1s to production are exceptionally powerful, so I'm going to take this and hope that I find a ruin somewhere. And given that we have a flour mill and a lumber mill, the big delivery here is actually really good. I love getting more beavers, but since I'll have a building that's slightly more efficient at doing building materials than the trade post, the pack of building material here is probably the better option. Plus, again, bonuses to production are super powerful, especially once you start stacking them with racial productivity bonuses that give you a chance at double production. Now, I have turned off the other types of fuel, which means I'm in pretty good stead with most glade events that might be in this dangerous glade, which is why I'm rushing toward it in year 1. Check that out. We just finished all of our buildings, and we're like 2 trees away from getting into this glade. So my 2 idle workers aren't going to be idle for that long. There it goes. 1. Okay. Termite mound. Wonderful. And we can do it with... I would love to do this with resin, but I can't wait that long. So we are going to do it with coal. And we are going to take the constant influx of food. +2 to stone production can be massive. 30 clay is nothing to sneer at. And getting insects with mushrooms would be nice if I had a good way of getting mushrooms. But in this case, having a permanent source of insects is great. So let's go ahead and send 2 dudes. Okay, -8 global resolve is actually a problem. I can't do that just yet. Alright, so since I can't do that just yet, what I need to do is build 3 shelters. And you know, since we are in this glade, I can now think about squaring up my territory. We have 5 here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I just want to go 1 further back based on how I like to set up my city blocks. And I've got enough space for it so I can. Now this corner is going to be a little bit jank because I can't go too far back while keeping it square, otherwise I pop open that vanilla glade, and we know how I feel about vanilla glades. Very much not worth cutting into most of the time. But we can certainly free up that area. Cool. So, with 2 builders building these, that is going to increase our resolve by, I think, 3. Oh, yeah. No, get out. There we go. Now, of course, the downside of ignoring this is that it destroys all building materials. But I don't have any stored building materials. So, there's no downside to me not doing it early. And it does take, how long? It takes 5 minutes to work, which is going to put us solidly into the storm, at which point I don't want to be working on it when I've already got the storm debuff. So we are just going to have to delay that for a bit and boost our productivity as much, or not productivity, our resolve as much as possible. Let's go ahead and take 4. Make ourselves a nice, comforting tower here to raise our hearth level by 1. The other benefit to delaying, of course, is that we may be able to stockpile enough resin. Yeah. So by getting our housing up and building this tower, we have kept our resolve positive. And we can go to another tier. Can I move these? Not without paying wood, which I don't really want to pay. I do want to delete these at some point, but we're not there yet. And of course we will need to start working on this clay. You know, at this point I think we're far enough that no one's going to leave. So I'm going to have 2 of these guys. Hey, we've got just enough resin too. Let's go work on that. And yes, the resolve's going to go negative, but it's not going to go negative before the storm ends. And this way we can get started on it and have it done as soon as possible. We got year 2 going on. So, year 2. Oh, yes. Lowering hostility by 10 for every 3 burnt blight rot cysts is great, and it adds up to a lot overall. But I really like this plus 10% chance of bonus shield for not controlling consumption. We know how much I love bonus shields. Oh, cool. Okay, so we're going to get humans and beavers. Humans are great at farming, so that works nicely. And let's go with this on over here, so I get an additional human. We're going to swap you out for a human. We're going to put 2 beavers here for now. We're going to set one human here. They're never going to make planks, but they are going to make, we'll say, up to 10 of each of these. Now, of course, you do want to be regularly moving your camps closer to the source of lumber that they're drawing from and face the trees. That way your woodcutters have the shortest possible travel time between collecting and delivering, so they can spend more time chopping. Now, of course, termites being constantly pulled in, plus what we'll get from the small farm, means that we'll have all the ingredients for skewers if we get like a cookhouse, and we'll also be able to make flour. Or not vegetables, roots, because I took the herb garden, that's right. Packs of crops I don't love, but 25% bonus yields is pretty great. Opening 2 dangerous glades is absolutely going to happen, and it gives us an infusion of tools. I think I want to go with advanced farming here. Neither of these give us flat bonuses. Important delivery seems very easily doable, but I like risky expedition because it's everything that encourages how I want to play anyway. So I'm going to go with risky expedition here. Let's go ahead and continue. Continue chopping away. Add that row. How are we doing on this? Almost done? Nope, got another minute and a half to go. So glad I knocked that open early. That is going to be huge. Okay, and we want to put our lumber mill here. And we will want a blight post. Can't put a blight post where I want it because I don't have the space. What if I do it on the other side? Yeah, that works fine. Going on building materials. Pretty solid, I think. Now, I don't need that, like, I'm not that fussed about bricks right now, so I'm going to put one guy in here, just making planks to get us started. We want a rain collector. I mean, I always build 2 rain collectors, but one of the spots I build them in is currently occupied by a crude workstation. So we will leave that as is for now. And let's swoop this up here. You're just waiting on bricks and planks. You've got both. People are, you know, they're not that unhappy. -1 resolve isn't a lot, and if they start getting ready to leave, I can favor them, because we're still on Prestige 1. People don't leave super fast. Let's move this here. Shove this out of the way down here, and we cannot get the large root deposit because the small foragers camp can only get small deposits. I really wish that they would change the art, like the visualization of large versus small deposits rather than just scale them up. That way you would clearly see at a glance whether a small version of a camp can collect it or not. I think that'd be super helpful. And their third species is harpies. Well, okay, and I have to take harpies. I think I'm going to take harpies with meat. Bonus leather production. I don't have a good way of getting leather unless... Well, I mean, there are... I think I want the biscuit diet. Because we know I love bonus chances for production. And since we've already said we cannot change consumption, that's 10%, right? And then humans have a 10% chance for agricultural bonus yields. This means that if we set up biscuit infrastructure, we'd have a 95% chance of producing double yields on all farms. Which just means so much flour and, well, in this case, roots and herbs. But that is still amazing as far as economy goes. Which I think... Maybe not. Okay. So we are going to put this here for now. Probably should have built it earlier. But we're just going to put it there, and we're going to assign a couple of humans to it. Meanwhile, let's put 2 harpies on clearing this field. I'm going to swap you out for a beaver. And let's build ourselves a harpy house. Actually, let's build 2, because I always build these in pairs anyway. Run this around the back. And we're going to do that. And what that's going to let us do is we're going to just start building a beaver housing area. Overbuild. Now I don't plan on cutting down these glades, so I'm just going to build right to the wall there. Whoop, there we go. Got a nice beavery neighborhood. 10 trade routes or open 3 caches. I think 10 trade routes is more viable. I have to have trade routes unlocked for this to matter, so that's cool. 15 aesthetics. Love that. Doesn't require me to pick any blueprints. Like, service buildings would be great for this Tier 5 Eerie song, if we get there. But I don't want to be forced into a selection. So I'd rather take an order that I can do without tying myself down like that. Let's add a second beaver to wood cutting. Or, not wood cutting, to wood processing, I should say. And swoop this up into the corner to finish clearing out our initial glade area. Run this over here, like so. Okay, we're gonna fire him. We're going to put 2 beavers on this harvester's camp to start collecting plant fiber so we can make more fabric. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and run this over here. Where we can clear our way up to, but not into this glade. We don't want to pop open this glade yet, especially with that -10 global resolve for opening glades during a storm. But I definitely do want to be clearing out more area in this direction because this is the only place we can expand using only dangerous glades. Where did my other... you're almost empty, so you should give me a little indicator that you can't do anything. There it goes. Run you up to this corner. Nice. So my beavers are housed. My harpies are housed, leaving just the humans. We can build enough for 6 humans there. If I'm remembering correctly, that should line up nicely with where their doors go. Of course, if I'm not remembering correctly, that's going to be super embarrassing. And they planks. Yep. Planks. Yep. Good. Alright, so end of year 3. Everybody's housed. Looking pretty good so far. 6 artifacts for every 2 dangerous... Ooh, yes, 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 yes. Let's do that. Let's get those Citadel resources to try to keep up with the difficulty scaling of going up prestige. Yeah. Alright, so we'll slide around like that. Nice, nice, nice. And let's see what we can get here. This has more humans. I feel like I need to boost humans if I'm going to be farming. I again forgot to staff this during the storm. That's okay, we can staff it now and they won't be that far behind. We're actually doing pretty okay on food. We've opened up a new glade. It's the one that causes living matter. That's really annoying. But we should be alright. Do I want to put a trading post up this way? I think I do. Yeah, we'll just put a trading post there. That should be fine. But I don't actually want to build the trading post yet. Because what I want to do is lose all of my food first. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll lose the food first, and then... Wait, are those all big? Those are all big. Curse you, devs. No, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. It's not... I'm not actually mad at the devs for doing that, but I just... Ards, come on. Okay. So let's... I don't like taking these for reputation rewards if I can avoid it. Let's go ahead and do this. And that immediately spawns 2 living matter, which I'm going to have to immediately start working on. And in fact, we have so much fuel that I'm not even going to worry about these woodcutters. I'm going to pull them off so we can go over here and do this. Now that's going to eat all of our food from the 2 living matters, but we get 20 biscuits. We get 20 jerky. Yeah. Harvester's camp is out of stuff. Okay. That's fine. We will fire them and put them on collecting sea marrow. Now, sea marrow's benefit when you burn it is that you do glade events faster, which can be really good if you're dealing with problematic glade events later in the game, like the ones that you find in Forbidden Glades, or what I used to call Flamin' Hot Glades, these really, really nasty ones. Yeah, like I said, there goes all of our food. Which means we're going to get some hunger stacks. But on the other hand, we've got nice housing for everybody. You know, maybe I should actually fire these people for now. So we're not just pouring food down the drain. Okay, that's done. That's done. Let's go ahead and put these 2 back. And you know, I'm actually going to fire this guy too, and we are going to go ahead and make that trading post. The idea behind making the trading post is so that I can hopefully buy some food immediately. Meanwhile, I'll turn this in to get the queen just a little bit less unhappy with us. And a bakery sounds amazing, so let's get a bakery. Let's queue up ourselves another comforting tower. I'm feeling right here. And And I think I will put a nice... I don't like the garden, so let's do night fern, bush. Looks good to me. Open 4 glades and get 3 ancient tablets for pottery every time we open a glade. Or make beavers excessively happy to get 4 beavers and +1 root production. Now, here's the thing. I don't know that I need the... Yeah, I think I need the root production. Let's do that. Let's aim high to make the beavers happy. Sahilda. Hi, Sahilda. Oh, you're willing to sell me the small farm. Love that. Also, Advanced Foragers Camp could be huge. So, 34. I would love to get this. This seems great. This is pretty nice. But, I mean, hey. That's... 21 amber for a thing I'm going to get for free from my quests is pretty good. But let's see, we need 34. I am willing to sell 327 wood, because I've got a ton of wood. I'm actually willing to sell... You know what? I can sell all of my resin, because we're going to get more resin from the trees as we play. I'll sell my herbs. They're currently worthless. I mean, I can use them in the bakery, but they're kind of worthless. I think another... Let's make this 427. Let's just sell so much wood. And then, how do I get the rest of what I need? I don't really want... It's hard enough to get fabric. I don't think I want to sell the stuff that lets me make fabric. I am willing to sell my grain. That gets us pretty close. And I don't love selling stone. But I think I'm willing to sell stone. Almost there. Okay, if we back up and we sell one more wood, we're going 0.02 over. That's as good a deal as we're going to get. So we can trade that, grab this, and grab this. Now, I know I said I was going to buy food, but what I bought there was the Advanced Foragers Camp. And the Advanced Foragers Camp can collect all these roots. So, in a sense, I did buy food. Sustainably. I bought food that I can keep making. Like, that's not the same thing. You're right. It's not the same thing. But it is more food. And it's a lot better use of amber than my other options. Now, where are all of my humans? I've got 2 humans here. I've got 1 human here. They're over here working on the destroyed cage of the war beast. That's okay. As soon as they quit, I will take them over to this foragers camp. They've got a chance for double production to get us some more roots. Well, let's line this up here. I know it's not currently employing anybody. And let's slide this over to this side. What I want to do over here is actually free up the rest of this fertile ground. Because I'm fairly certain there's more. Plus, this way we can get kind of close to opening up another dangerous glade. And at some point in the near future, I should think about making some fuel to deal with my 3 cysts. But you know what? It'll just take a little time. Okay, so that's the highest that I can unlock. Great. Corruption is steadily growing, so let's go ahead and put one in here, and let's set a limit of 10. Alright. I like this pack better. Free jerky when we make pie, and we've got a bakery. That's a lot of free food. A bonus human resolve when we make incense requires a long supply chain that I'm not certain I'll have, and I do not like saddling myself with 2 more villagers every year, so Sahilda's cookbook it is. Let's go. I now have a bunch of free people available, so let's fully staff this. Let's fully staff this. Those camps don't do anything right now. I will put another harpy in the blight post. And let's put 2 humans making fabric and bricks. Start thinking about where we want our second hearth. Now, of course, we've got stuff in the way there. If I offset them, I could do something like this, which would require me to cut down these trees. Well, that sounds super fun. So let's make this our reject area. For now, there's a couple of dangerous glades up here that I want to get at, but not just yet. And we are going to move this to face these. And then we're going to make a whole hub down here, too. Of course, I should also queue up this rain mill that I've been meaning to build, but haven't. I'm going to run a road around the side. Get that second rain mill down. Okay. Cool. Let's move this back up here. And then what we're going to do is take this small hearth. And was it like that? Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Yeah, because see, that's a good spot for a warehouse. It is right by a bunch of resources that I gotta collect. It's right by a farm, which will help us be more efficient with getting all of the farmed resources. Even if I relocate the farm to a different corner of the area of the fertile ground, it's still very close to the farmland. Quite nice. I do have a human in here, right? Yes. Now, I honestly don't know. I know lizards get happiness for working a small hearth, but I don't know if, like, the lizard bonus of using less fuel applies to the secondary hearth or not. And there's not really a convenient way to check. I wish there were. We are going to set this to 100 planks, and we're going to fire both of these guys. Are there spare humans anywhere? Yes, yes there are, because I can swap you out for a beaver. I can swap you out for a beaver. I want to do that because this way I can make flour and packs of building materials here, where humans have a chance for bonus production. We want to make flour out of roots right now. We definitely want to make building materials out of planks. How many do we need? We need 7. We need 7. Okay. So they'll use 56 planks or less because we've got that chance for bonus production, which is really good. So that's going to be pretty efficient. We've got a chance to build a small farm, which we can do here once we've cleared that. The forager's camp was already upgraded, but we knew that. And there is, I thought I saw fertile ground through the trees, through the tree line like here, but it's not worth me opening a small glade for, not when I've already got such good fertile ground locations I can expand into already. Trapper's camp has no deposits, so that's wonderful. I can shift these down to this area and free up space around that hub. Also, building myself another path so that we've got more industry near our main production. Speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and run a road here, and here, and here. We'll see if we can get more efficient roads up in that area. At hostility 5, which is way too high. No, we're at hostility 3. Why am I thinking 5? We're in year 5. Huh. Yeah, we're fine as far as hostility goes. Don't mind me speaking over here. Okay. 15 tools and 15 packs for 25% faster harvesting speed. Bonus pottery production is not as good as, like, more basic things, so I don't want to do this. Bonus biscuits is huge. I'm not sure how we'll get those tools, but we'll have to find a way to get them. People are pretty unhappy. Why? Entirely hostility of the forest. Okay. I'm going to let him get a little bit sad before I do anything about it. Do something about it, it's going to be to fire these guys, who we're going to move here. I just love building a solid economic base, you know? Where I know I'm going to be able to produce just a ton of food and a lot of resources for future years. Now, rather than firing more beavers, I'm going to... Yes, okay. Whew! That was close. We are going to move this right here. And we're going to fire them for the rest of this season. And we are actually going to just burn a little bit of wood to make people happy for the rest of this year. We're going to turn off... no, we need 15... And we're going to change this from wood over to sea marrow because I have so much sea marrow. Pop, in here. Nice. I do not want to increase the Queen's Impatience automatically, so we're skipping this. I do not want... Well, free water skins might be good, but I don't love it. I don't want to kill anybody. Let's re-roll. Free barrels. I've got 2 species that like education, so the work safety guide could be nice. I don't like having a negative resolve penalty, so let's go with let's get free barrels. Turn this in for some bonus planks. Now the cookhouse lets me get skewers, which would be good for the harpies and only the harpies. Pigment is good for harpies and beavers if I then get a building for education. The ranch lets me grow meat and eggs out of flour. The herbalist camp... I feel like I need the monastery. I need the monastery. Because in case you don't remember, the monastery's bonus is that when it's fully staffed, it lowers the hostility of the forest by 100 points. It basically takes a full hostility rank off the forest. Lower this. Rehire beavers here. Push our way into this glade. Not here, though. We're going to just push our way straight to the glade like that. We are going to move this to this side so we can get the entire area. Get a road, run a road there and run a road here. Yes, all the way around the back like so and like that. We're going to rehire beavers to this location as well. That's not what I meant. I forgot you were there, Jorg. Am I pronouncing that weird, Jorg? How do you guys say ZH? I don't have anyone in chat, so, and, you know, chat's not going to be real good at telling me pronunciation anyway, now that I think about it. So I don't know why I said that. Okay, let's fire these guys. Let's put one beaver in the grain collector, where they like working. I'll put 1 beaver in the lumber mill. I don't need packs of trade goods for anything. I do need to do trade routes, which means I should think about moving this and put a makeshift post. Saying that weird, don't know why. Put a makeshift post there for making packs of provisions. Love this because it doesn't have any harpies in it. Harpies are, you know, hard to keep happy. Don't love that. We can... Nope, that's good. Where do I have my other harpies? Small Trapper's Camp. I don't need to be doing that. It's not... There's not a better spot for me to put them, really. Let's swap one out for a human. Put a harpy here. Okay, we've got enough resin. That's great, so I can do this with resin. And it'll add Global Resolve, or we can get mushrooms, ancient tablets, and sea marrow. Let's go ahead and get the Global Resolve bonus. Now, while working it, it does block our ability to sacrifice goods in the hearth for 4 minutes, but I don't have any reason to sacrifice goods in the hearth for the next 4 minutes, so that's fine. That's the small camp. Didn't I upgrade you? No, I took the monastery. That's right. Now, this woodcutter's camp has nothing nearby, but now that I have elected to make a hub over here, I am highly incentivized to free up space around it. So let's free up space around it. Complete this little roadie area. Put another human in here for no reason. I mean, not no reason. We have quite a lot of flour. And once they've made the packs of building materials that we're going to need, I'm going to fire 2 of them and move them over to the bakery so they can start working on biscuits, which we desperately need for... What was it? Did I not take it? Ah, there it is. Yeah. And also pie, because pie gives us jerky, and both humans and harpies like jerky. So, biscuits and jerky, you'd have biscuits, you'll have biscuits, pie, and jerky. So we can fulfill every human food need just from the bakery alone. That's pretty good. Oh, there's our packs of building materials. So turn that off. I know, Queen, I see your impatience. It's not great. No pottery. I don't want to be making pottery. We definitely do want to just do flour and herbs for these. In fact, we're going to be doing a lot of things with herbs, because we're going to make provisions out of them, too. Actually, since we want to make provisions out of the herbs, maybe... No, we should make provisions out of the meat. Yes, there we go. So we're going to turn that off. We're going to turn that and that on. No packs of crops, no building materials. We are just going to put a beaver in here. Activate all that. Not stone. How are we looking on building materials? We still have a couple copper, huh? Let's go ahead and make 3 more copper. Can I move you? I love that I can move that. There we go. Okay. So what I should be thinking about upgrading this hub over here, shouldn't I? So I would like to put housing away from this, because this way I can put like building stuff here and have them have really short delivery times. So we're going to put housing on this side. Let's go ahead and just make a couple of human houses, and then a beaver house here, And once these trees are down, we'll put a beaver house there. Hey, there we go. What did I say? Beaver house there. Did I not put a beaver in here? I should have. Small trappers camp has no deposits nearby. Well, that's fine, actually. We don't have anything else we can do with the small trappers camp, so let's put that there. We do have a spot that we can use the small herbalist camp. And harpies do get a bonus chance for production in the small herbalist camp. So we will go ahead and just put one harpy in it. Meanwhile, this can be collecting these. Let's go ahead and put 2 humans on that. The stonecutter's camp can be collecting nothing. Let's pop it up out of the way. There we go. And then we're going to just mark all of these trees to free up more space around our second hearth here, but also it'll get us close to this forbidden glade. Like, we're just kind of clearing out more space for housing right now, but we'll get there. And, you know, we are going to lower hostility by firing all of our woodcutters. Let's build a small farm here with farm fields. And resolve's still low, so let's also go up here and put 3 beavers in the monastery. Now, I need 2 more humans from somewhere. Bakery doesn't need to be humans. It's so weird to me that we're making pie out of flour and herbs, and somehow that's also producing jerky. But you know what? Magic worlds are magic. Don't know what else I can say about that. And now we're going to have a more efficient source of flour. Which reminds me, I should probably set this to a cap of 500. We're going to add the ability to turn wheat into flour. We still need to rebuild a location, but I think other than that, we're doing pretty good here. Free ancient tablets could be good. Trade routes going faster is also fantastic. Let's do that. I know I haven't really been focused on my packs of provisions. How many do I have? 12? Let's set a cap of 30 for now. And as soon as I get my people for this year, I think we're going to call it for the video right here. So let's go ahead and just... Oh, right, they changed the hotkey for that from U to O on me. And we're going to go here, take myself a nice little screenshot. And if you have made it this far in the video, I very much appreciate you sitting with me through this nice, relaxing game of Against the Storm. Reminder, you can see anytime I'm streaming, I will announce it a few minutes in advance over at Ghost Finch Media. That's Twitter, at Ghost Finch Media, all one word, no spaces. And you'll be able to get notifications every time I do this, as well as when I make progress on my other life projects, like my card game or my book, or the various other things I'm trying to create. So that's at Ghost Finch Media on Twitter. I'd also very much appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe, maybe commented on things you think I'm doing poorly, or things you'd like to see me try in future video series. I don't take every suggestion. There's reasons I play the way I do in some cases, but there are certainly other times where people give me suggestions of things I can be doing better, and they show up on stream, and I credit YouTube feedback anytime I implement it. So absolutely do that. Remember, if you show up live over on twitch.com/DrakeCanary on Friday nights at 9:30 Eastern, and probably Mondays at 8:30 is going to be the other one, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. If you show up live, you can give me suggestions live and meme with me. That's how we got that hashtag Housing for Beavers meme that I talk about a lot on this channel. And I would love to see you over there, because it's always more fun with a live audience. Regardless, even if you're watching on YouTube, I very much appreciate you taking the time. I'm glad you're here. I hope you have yourself a great day, and I would like to see you in the next one. Bye now.